Welcome to. Okay, I did have my mic on. Welcome to Belton High School for Game 2 of this Mid-Plains League Cowden Cup Championship Series between the visiting Junction City Brigade and the home Midwest A's. The Brigade have the 1-0 lead in the series. They won 16-7 at their home place last night. Should they win tonight, they will capture their third consecutive Cowden Cup title. I'm Joe Compton on the call for the Sunflower Sports Network, and right now we are going to start with the starting lineups. So, batting first for the Midwest A's is the second baseman Blake Veneman. Following him, the shortstop Evan Johnson. Batting third, the right fielder Aiden Morgan. Batting fourth, the left fielder Mitchell Smith. Batting fifth, the first baseman Drew Reskis. Batting sixth, designated hitter Trent Ruckert. Batting seventh, the third baseman AJ Alvarez. Batting eighth, the catcher Cole Arndorfer. And batting ninth, the center fielder Jack Harris. Pitching for the A's tonight will be Tate Robertson. Now on to the lineup for the visiting Junction City Brigade. Batting first, the center fielder Jace Essig. Batting second, the second baseman Carson Schrack. Batting third, the right fielder Dalton Nelson. Fourth, the first baseman Jarek Braden. Batting fifth, the third baseman Isaac Peggers. Batting sixth, the designated hitter George Andrews. Batting seventh, the catcher Zach Becker. Batting eighth, for the left fielder Keegan McDonald. And batting ninth, the shortstop Brayton Dinkle. Pitching for the Brigade is Cade Perkins. And with that, we are going to take a break as we do the awards presentation for the league, as this might be the final game of the season. So, presenting our league awards is League Commissioner Michael Moore. He's a great boss. And so we have our well, he won't be loud enough to talk, so I will try to narrate as best as I can. So Well, our coaches meeting is done, so that means that we are back here. Sorry for the extended break. Didn't realize how long it was gonna take. However, that was the Mid-Plains League Awards announced. Pitcher of the Year went to Charlie Williams of the Midwest A's. Player of the Year, Kuiper Kendall of the Baldwin City Blues, and we haven't announced it for this year, but last year's player or Coach of the Year was presented to Garrett Francis of the Junction City Brigade. So with that, the home team is ready to take the field, and well, we are about ready to go here for Game 2 of this championship series. Once again, Junction City leads 1-0 in the series. They won Game 1 last night by a score of 16-7. Credit starting pitcher Trevor Laughlin with the win. And that would be starting pitcher for the Midwest A's, Jacob Ross, with the loss. Ross with the loss. Funny how that works. But we'll be announcing the A's in fielding order. Pitching is... Sorry, one sec. Pitching is Robertson. Catching, Cole Arndorfer. First base is Drew Reskis. Second base, Blake Veneman. Third base, AJ Alvarez. Evan Johnson at short. And your outfielders left to right, Mitchell Smith, Jack Harris, and Aiden Morgan. Now, running through the Junction City lineup once again in batting order, it is Essig, Schrack, Nelson, Braden, Peggers, Andrews, Becker, McDonald, Dinkle. And with that, we should be ready to go. This is Tate Robertson taking his last few warm-up pitches before we start Game 2. This is Robertson's second appearance of the season, or excuse me, actually, I'm not sure of the playoff series. However, he did appear in the semifinal series between the A's and the Topeka Warhawks. The A's obviously won that series to advance here. They won that by a 2-1 game scoreline. But we are ready to go, and a decent crowd here. And this is a little weird for me. This is the first time not being in a press box, or really in a area that's away from the fans. But it is Jace Essig leading off for Junction City, and he takes the first pitch outside for ball one. This one high and inside ball two. Essig was 2 for 4 with two doubles, an RBI, 2 runs, a walk, and a hit by pitch in last night's game. And so far, he's seen 3 pitches. They've all been balls. Here from Robertson. 3-0. High and inside for ball 4. Jace Essig works a leadoff 4-pitch walk. And Junction City has a runner on first with nobody out. And that's going to bring up Carson Schrack. Schrack, an all-league player, was 4 for 6 in last night's game. Had 2 doubles, 3 RBIs as this pitch outside for ball 1. In addition to those, he had 2 runs, and in one of the times he failed to reach base, it was a strikeout. Robertson throws back to first. He will not find Jace Essig. A pretty much unchanged lineup for Junction City. They're running with the same starting 9 that they have for the last, I believe, the entire postseason, as this one is high and outside for ball 2. However, the Midwest A's is sporting a different lineup, and when we get to their batting order, we will go through the changes. This pitch high for ball 3. So 3 pitches in this one, 3 balls. That means overall Robertson has thrown 7 pitches, all of them balls. 3-0 pitch in there for called strike one. So 3-1 the count, and that elicits a maybe sarcastic cheering from the Junction City faithful that have shown up here. Essig goes, but that's high for ball 4, and actually Essig did not even go. However, that is another walk. Junction City with 2 on, nobody out, and this brings up Dalton Nelson, who has had a great last couple games after going 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs in Junction City's 4-3 Game 3 win over Baldwin City. Nelson last night went 3 for 5 with a double and 2 RBIs and a run and a walk to boot. However, he takes the first pitch in there for called strike one. 2 on for Junction City here to start the top of the first frame. Junction City looking to sweep and win their 3rd consecutive Cowden Cup as Nelson takes this one in there, called strike 2. So 0-2 to Nelson. And he's going to look to try to maybe put a ball in play and bring home a run for Junction City early. Robertson delivers, fouled off to our right into the other baseball field below. This is the middle of 3 diamonds here in Belton. There is a softball field up past the left field wall, and down to our right is a all dirt baseball field. But the 0-2 low for ball 1. That makes the count 1-2 to Dalton Nelson. This pitch, low outside, ball 2, evens up the count at 2-2. Dalton Nelson was an all-league player in the Mid-Plains League in the position of right field. A native of Omaha, Nebraska, a graduate of Millard North, currently enrolled at Dakota State University. But he has 2-2. And make that 3-2, so Nelson has done a good amount of looking after an 0-2, then a foul ball. It's been 3 straight balls. And we'll just have to see what happens here. The payoff pitch. Hit behind and fouled. By the way, it never did our introduction for Tate Robertson. Tate Robertson is a native of Columbia, a graduate of Hickman, so that makes him a QP, and he'll be going to State Fair Community College in Sedalia next season. The 3-2, fouled off once again. Nelson doing well to battle. He's fouled off 3 in addition to the 2 strikes, so that's been 8 pitches in this at-bat so far. The payoff pitch again, high, 4-4. Nelson works a no-out walk, and Tate Robertson has walked the bases loaded. And that brings it in the cleanup hitter, Jared Braden. Braden was 1 for 5 last night. However, did have a home run. Also had 2 RBIs, 2 runs, a hit by pitch, and also a strikeout. But obviously, a home run here would bring quite the lead. 4-0 would be a way to start if you're Junction City. However, he Swings and foul tips that one into the glove of Cole Arndorfer, so the count moves to 0-1. Once again, forgot to do the spiel at the top of the broadcast. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or shoutouts, feel free to throw them in the chat. I'll try to read them out. The 0-1. Inside for ball 2. Or excuse me, ball 1. It ends up the count at 1-1. One hit into the fielded by Venom, and the throw to first is in time. However, that will bring Jace Essig home. So each team got what they wanted. And out for the Midwest A's, and a run for Junction City. I kind of forgot to switch my scoreboard. I meant to have one to where the A's would be the one on top. And there, that should be correct now. As this one by Isaac Peggers is hit into the right field and foul. So the count to Isaac Peggers now 0-1 to start the at bat. His team leading 1-0 here. Peggers takes this one in there for called strike 2, so the count quickly at 0-2. The 0-2 fouled off, so the count will remain there at 0-2. Isaac Peggers is a native of Bismarck, North Dakota, home of the Bismarck Larks of the Northwoods League. Currently enrolled at the University of Mary, located in Bismarck. Peggers chases on that one, swing and a miss, so make that out number 2 and strikeout number 1 of the evening for Tate Robertson. And that brings up George Andrews. Andrews 1 for 4 last night. That one was a 3-run home run in his first at bat as he hits this one to right field. That's going to get down. Track will score. Here comes Nelson. He will score as well. So make that a 2 RBI single for George Andrews. Junction City's really opened up the scoring here. It's now 3-0 with 2 outs. I think that bat might have been broken. It did not sound terribly great off the bat. Either that or just maybe the way it's made. But either way, it did the job. It found the gap and 2 more runs. So Junction City leading 3-0 here in the top of the first as new batter Zach Becker fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. Becker was an honorable mention all-league player. Was 2 for 5 with 2 runs in last night's contest. A native of Manhattan, but an attendee of nearby to Manhattan, Rock Creek. As Becker takes this one high. Becker now a Coffeyville Red Raven, just finished up his freshman season there. So the count is 1-1 to Becker, as that one low for ball 2. But bringing up pitch counts, I have Tate Robertson at 29 pitches here in the top of the first inning. And here comes pitch number 30. High, ball 3. So 3-1 is the count now to Becker. He's going to maybe work a walk. And if not, as Becker will foul this one off to the right side, the count goes full at 3-2. Becker's either going to look to walk or maybe, well, just put the ball in play. I'd say early on, his team's not in much of anything bad, as Andrews will go, but this one will be hit into deep left field. And this one's fair. Nobody could get to it. So that'll be Zach Becker on with a 2-out double. Sorry, folks. Unfortunately, our camera does not go that far over. Tried to work on our camera configurations here, and, well, we only have one, and it's probably positioned in the best place it can be. If I had two, it would go out that far. But either way, there are 2 runners on for Keegan McDonald. McDonald was 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs, a run, and 3 strikeouts last night. A two-way player pitched in Game 1 of Junction City versus Baldwin City. Went 3 innings in that contest as he takes the first pitch. High and outside, 4-1. This next pitch, high for ball 2. And you have to wonder, maybe at this pitch, oh, for ball 3. So you do have to wonder the Midwest A's pitching strategy. And the reason I bring this up is Robertson currently at 35 pitches. You have to wonder, do you really kind of try to shell out as that pitch low for ball 4? That is a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded once again. So 36 pitches from Robertson, and we're going to get a mound visit from pitching coach Jeremy Husband. So as that happens, I guess I'll finish my thought. You have to wonder their pitching strategy. They only have... You have to wonder whether they're going to try and maybe use as many pitchers as they can just to force a Game 3. Midwest A's used 3 pitchers last night. It was their starter Jacob Ross that went 6 innings. He was followed by Yongsoo Ahn, who went an inning himself. Then Charlie Williams finished off the game with 1 inning of his own. Williams, normally a starter though, so maybe a interesting tactic to use him as a reliever, especially when they maybe want to save him for Game 3. However, only 1 inning. They can probably use him again, as this one hit into left field by Braden Dinkle. George Andrews will score, same with Zach Becker. So a 2 RBI single by Braden Dinkle. Well, the score is 5-0 in favor of Junction City now. And that brings up Jace Essig once again. And this is where my scorebook gets a little fuzzy, as this one swung on and missed for strike 1. So 0-1 the count to Essig. Essig walked and scored in his first plate appearance. He now comes back to the dish, as this one is low for ball 1 with 2 on and 2 out. The count is now 1-1. The 1-1 in there, called strike 2. So that makes pitch number 40 for Robertson. Here, still in just the first inning, and there obviously will be a pitch number 41 that is coming up right now. The count 1-2, so a strike three would end the inning. Essig steps off, and we will go in just one moment. The 1-2 low in the dirt. That makes 2-2. Both runners advance. To their corresponding bases. So count is 2-2 with 2 outs, 2 on. Jace Essig in his second plate appearances. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm playing just a little bit of number association. But the 2-2 pitch, high as the count goes full. That is ball number 3. So once again, a full count to Jace Essig. Payoff pitch, foul tipped, but could not be caught by Cole Arndorfer, so the count will stay at 3-2. This plate appearance going a little longer than the first one for Essig. He worked a 4-pitch walk in the first time up. Now a full count. He's seen 7 pitches thus far. This will be number 8. Payoff pitch. Put in play. Hit to the shortstop, Evan Johnson. The throw to first in time. Was a pretty close play, but Johnson retires Essig, so 5 runs off 3 hits. No errors. 2 left on. Junction City takes an early 5-0 lead, and with that, we will take a break. Before we return with the bottom of the first inning, do not go anywhere. Back here with the bottom of the first inning. If you're just now joining us, Junction City has jumped out to a 5-0 lead. They batted around and then some, went 10 batters in the first inning. But now we go to the bottom of the first. This is Midwest Hayes batting Blake Veneman leading off, who fouls the first one off behind him into the fence. So the count goes to 0-1. This is Cade Perkins pitching, and I'll announce to his introduction as that one goes low for ball 1. Perkins, a Mid-Plains League All-League player, got that by way of starting pitcher, as this one hit up into the air, and that will be Isaac Peggers trying to make the catch, and he does. So make that pop foul out. Will retire Blake Veneman to start the inning. But finishing Introduction of Cade Perkins. Perkins finished his freshman year at Cali Community College, but is a native of Manhattan. In last year's MLB draft, Perkins was selected in the 19th round by the San Francisco Giants. And the next batter, this is not Evan Johnson, as we were led to believe, so we'll have to tell you who it is. Our roster had Johnson. Oh, actually, I was completely wrong. So, Veneman was not retired. That one went out of play and was not caught by Peggers. So, apologies there. And we will have to redo it, but the count is 2-2. This one hit to Carson Track at second base. This one's a no-doubter. Throw in time. So, it took a couple more pitches, but Veneman is retired. One away here in the bottom of the first inning. And now is Evan Johnson, so once again, apologies for the mix-up, but I think we have it now. That first pitch in there for called strike one. This next pitch low evens up the count at 1-1. Swing and a miss for Johnson. By the way, small note, this is number 22 versus number 22. Both pitcher and batter wearing that jersey number. This pitch by Perkins outside. Evens up the count at 2-2. This one high, and all three. And as the wind picks up, I have to make sure I don't lose my papers. This pitch high for ball four, so Evan Johnson works a one-out walk. So one on here for the Midwest A's. This is Aiden Morgan, the right fielder, into the plate, and Morgan takes the first pitch in there for called strike one. Perkins throws back to try to catch Johnson, cannot find him. So we will go in just one moment. Next pitch, and therefore called strike two. So 0-2 the count to Aiden Morgan. Morgan in last night's game was 1 for 4 with a run. One walk, but was hit by a pitch twice. And in tonight's game, he starts with a strikeout. Strikeout number one for Cade Perkins, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. This pitch to Mitchell Smith, the cleanup hitter, in there for called strike one. Smith was 1 for 3 with a run, 2 walks, and a strikeout in last night's game as he takes that pitch low for ball one. This one swung on and fouled off to our right. So the count goes to 1-2. 1-2 with 2 outs here. Evan Johnson on first base. Junction City is leading the Midwest A's, facing a 5-0 deficit as Evan Johnson goes. And he's on with a stolen base as the count moves to 2-2. So one thing, I think I mentioned this last night's game, if there's ever 2 outs, two strikes and 2 outs, and the A's have a runner on as Smith, swing and a miss. It's actually dropped third strike, and he will be retired. I think there's maybe a little confusion whether it was a drop third strike or a foul ball, at least on my end, but it was a drop third strike. the call and the play in time. So make that strikeout number 2 for Cade Perkins, and that's going to do it here in the bottom of the first inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors, 1 left on. The Midwest A's trail 5-0 here, and we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, it'll be the top of the second inning. Do not go anywhere. Back with the top half of the second inning. Junction City currently leading 5-0 here in Belton. Carson Track up to the plate for the second time tonight, and we have a new pitcher here for the Midwest A's. This is Derek Carey replacing Tate Robertson. Robertson went 44 pitches as this pitch hit into center field, and Harris will make the grab. So Track will be retired for the first out of the inning, and the first pitch of Derek Carey's doing. Carey is a native of Green Valley, a current attendee of Hannibal LaGrange University into the American Midwest Conference. Is this breaking ball in there for called strike 1? Dalton Nelson is the next batter up. Nelson is 0 for 0 with a walk, and he's going to send this one into center field. Actually, no, that'll be Blake Veneman making the play, but the throw not in time. So a nice defensive effort by Blake Veneman. However, Dalton Nelson will beat the throw. So he is on with 1 out. So this brings up Jarek Braden. Braden is 0 for 1, however, has an RBI to his credit, and this pitch in there for called strike 1. So finishing off Robertson's line. Robertson went one inning pitched as Braden ropes this one foul into the Junction City Brigade bullpen. The count moves to 0-2. So 1 inning pitched, 5 runs, 3 hits. By the way, all 5 runs were earned. 1 strikeout, 4 walks. But the 0-2 outside for 1-2 the count now. Gary definitely has a little less pace on his pitches than Robertson, so it definitely is it's a change of pace as it says. This one hit into shallow left field. It will be Evan Johnson making the grab. So 2 away now here in the top of the second. Nelson was able to make it back to first base in time. That brings up Isaac Peggers. Peggers is 0 for 1 with a strikeout as Nelson will go. The throw down to second, not in time, so credit Dalton Nelson with a stolen base, and I believe that is ball 1. count is 1-0 to Beggars. And the 1-0 is going to be hit in the air. This will be Aiden Morgan under it, and he will make the grab, so that'll finish the inning. No runs off, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We move to the bottom of the second. Junction City still leads 5-0. With that, we're going to take a break. Do not go anywhere. So Drew Oreskes leads off the bottom of the second inning. His squad currently trailing 5-0 here. All 5 runs coming by Junction City in the first inning. Cade Perkins out for another inning for Junction City, as this one is in there for called strike 1. Perkins had 2 strikeouts to start out last inning, and it seems like he's not slowing down, but that pitch is out of the zone to even up the count at 1-1. Oreskes swings and misses at that, so count 1-2. Oreskes was 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run last night. Also had a walk and a strikeout. He's going to put this one in play, but back to the pitcher Perkins, and Oreskes knew his fate and didn't even bother running, as he is retired. 1-3 and 1 away here in the bottom half of the second inning, and that brings up Trent Ruckert, the Ruckert is the designated hitter who took the first pitch for ball 1. Ruckert did not play in last night's game, as he swings and misses on this one to even up the count at 1. Ruckert is a graduate of Platte County, who plays his college ball at Missouri Western. Pitch outside for ball 2. Missouri Western, home to the St. Joseph Mustangs of the Mink League. 3-time champions there. They're looking to make it 4. Ruckert swings and misses there to even up the count. I believe the Mink League's championship series starts tomorrow night. That one down for ball 3. As a Baldwin City Blues employee myself, I was able to go to the Mustangs opening day, as this one is hit into left field, and it will be fair. Ruckert on his bike and held up at second base, but that's going to be a 1-out double for Trent Ruckert, and you guys are looking to have somebody on board. AJ Alvarez is the next batter in, who takes first pitch in there for called strike 1. Alvarez came in as a third inning sub, however, only got 1 at bat last night, where he went 0 for 1, and the count is now 0 2. He did make some nice plays at third base defensively, however, did not get many chances with the bat as he takes his pitch outside for ball 1. Trent Ruckert, the runner on second base for the Midwest A's. Have your runner in scoring position with 1 out and make that 2. AJ Alvarez sat down swinging, strikeout number 3 for Cade Perkins. Now 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. This is Cole Orndorfer making his first trip up to the plate tonight. Orndorfer takes the first pitch low for, or in there for strike 1. Orndorfer, another sub in last night's game, had 1 plate appearance where he walked and actually drove in a run, so credit him for an RBI. As that pitch outside for ball 1. And updating on pitches, I think I have Cade Perkins at 34. It's possible I missed 1 or 2, but he's in the range of 33 to 36, I would say. His breaking ball outside for ball 2. So 2-1 is the count to Perkins, and the lights are on here in Belton. It is currently 7:46 as Orndorfer swings and misses to even up the count at 2-2. So 2-2 here in the bottom of the second inning. Runner on second base is Trent Ruckert. So a runner on second base. As this one fouled off, count will remain at 2-2. So continuing with our trend of 2s. So we have 2-2 with in the second inning. There is a runner on second base. Pitcher's number is 22. And the runner on second is the second base runner of the inning for either team. This one hit to second base over the glove of Carson Schrack, and that'll get into right field. The throw down to home, not in time. So Ruckert scores from second base. Credit Cole Orndorfer with an RBI single. And the Midwest A's are on the board. Once again, credit Cole Orndorfer with the RBI there. He is on first with 2 outs here for Jack Harris. Harris fouls off the first pitch. Makes the count 0-1. Harris was 0 for 3 in last night's game, however, had an RBI. He fouls that one off. Once again, 0-2 the count now. Had a walk and a strikeout also last night to his credit. But he faces 0-2 with 2 outs here. And this one hit up straight into the air. It will be Jarek Braden making the catch, and that'll end the inning. So, 1 run off 2, or excuse me, yes, 1 run off 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on. The Midwest A's get 1 back, but they still trail 5-1. And with that, we're going to take a break, and when we're back, the top of the third inning to come. Do not go anywhere. Georgia Andrews leads off the top half of the third inning. Junction City leading 5-1 here in Belton. Andrews steps up to the plate for the second time. Had an RBI, a 2 RBI double, or RBI single, but still 2 of them, in his first at bat. He takes the first pitch for ball one, make that strike one, and that one hit right above the dugout in second, and the 1-1 make that 1-2. Derek Carey now 2 consecutive strikes, but this one outside. The count now 2-2. Andrews swings on this one, and it's going to get up the middle past the glove of Evan Johnson. So George Andrews now 2 for 2 with a leadoff single. So that brings up catcher Zach Becker. This one in there for called strike one. Becker 1 for 1 with a double and a run. The 0-1 swung on and fouled to the right side. Makes the count 0-2. The 0-2 hit up in the air, actually into foul territory, out of play. So the count will remain at 0-2. A decent night out here tonight in Belton. I forgot to do my weather report at the top of the broadcast. It is currently a cool 86 degrees, and that might sound hot. Well, it kind of is, but last night in Junction City, as this one goes outside, makes the count 1-2. But last night in Junction City was about 103 at first pitch with a heat index of 108. And that didn't even take into account the turf on the field for the players, but I was warm in the stoop at Rathert Stadium. This one outside once again. Count moves to 2-2. But in this time, the count 2-2. Becker swings on it once again, and that one goes on the roof of the Midwest Days dugout. The count remains at 2-2. Folks, I feel like the biggest difficulty we might run into is just making sure that the hotspot we're running off of doesn't overheat, as this one is hit to the first baseman Oreskes, who cannot field it, and I would mark that an E3. So Zach Becker on via an error. However, that will move the runners and bring up Keegan McDonald. McDonald 0 for 0 with a walk, as this one is in there for called strike one. 2 on for the Brigade with nobody out. They're certainly in the driver's seat so far. They lead 5-1 here in the top of the third inning, as this one is outside to McDonald's. The count moves to 1-1. Of course, not many games in the MLB tonight. I'll go over them in just a second, but this one sent into left field by McDonald. Mitchell Smith is under it, and he will make the grab. So one away here now in the top of the third inning. Both Andrews and Becker will stay put at their respective bases, but that brings up Braden Dinkle. Dinkle 1 for 1 with a 2 RBI single. Those 2 RBIs are the most recent 2 runs to cross for Junction City. Those were runs 4 and 5, and he's going to send this one into left field. Mitchell Smith under it once again, and once again no tag. So it wasn't me just repeating the last play. That happened once again, but that brings up the top of the order for Junction City. In steps Jace Essig. Essig is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run, and a ground out in his last trip up. And he's going to swing on this one, and it's going to go out of play behind us. So the count moves to 0-1. So other games in the MLB tonight. Well, the 2 games that have already been played, the Angels swept the Tigers 11-4 and 6-0 in a doubleheader. But games that are currently being played, the Chicago White Sox trail the Cleveland Guardians 4-0 in the middle of the third there. This one roped to AJ Alvarez at third base, so he continues his web gems from last night. And that will do it here in the top of the third inning. No runs off, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on. Junction City still leads 5-1 here in the middle of the third, and with that, we are going to take a break and be back. Do not go anywhere. So, here with the top of the third inning, this one by pitcher Cade Perkins in there for called strike 1. That starts off the bottom half of the inning. This is the top of the order, Blake Veneman, who takes this pitch low for ball 1. So 1-1 the count to Veneman, who is 0 for 1 with a ground out thus far. So that pitch was low for ball 2. Perkins is at around 42 pitches. That's what I have, as this one is fouled off by Veneman. However, I can't say that I have the exact number correctly. but the count moves to 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled. Count continues at 2-2, and folks, if you're new to the broadcast, I like to tell you every time I flinch, that is number one on the day, as Veneman fouls that one once again back into his body. So the count will remain at 2-2. Two-two hit over the head of Carson Strachan into right center field. Veneman is not going to second. However, he works himself a leadoff single. Following him is Evan Johnson, the first base runner of the game for the Midwest A's. Walked as he hits this one up in the air. This is going to be Schrack making the catch. So all it took was one pitch to retire Evan Johnson the second time around. So that brings up Aiden Morgan. Morgan 0 for 1 himself with a strikeout, and he takes the first pitch in there for called strike one. The 0-1 becomes 0-2. Swing and a miss by Morgan, who, as of right now, has only seen strikes. He went down after an 0-2 count. Whether or not there were some extra foul balls in there, I don't remember. However, he's going to put this one in play. This one hit to the shortstop Dinkle, who will throw it to Jarek Braden at first. That throw is in time. That will retire Morgan, however. In that happening, Blake Veneman moves to second base. So the A's have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. As this one is in there to Mitchell Smith, and the run that the A's scored last time around was scored with 2 outs. They're very good at doing that. This one hit straight to Carson Schrack, who will make the throw to first, no problem. So that'll do it here in the bottom of the third. No runs off, 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on, and with that, we will move to the bottom of the third, but we're going to take a break. Do not go anywhere. We are here back with the top half of the 4th inning. This is Carson Schrack to lead things off. Schrack was pretty active in the field in the last In the bottom of the last frame, he will take the first pitch low for ball one. And he sends this one past the glove of Evan Johnson. So Schrack is on to first base for the second time tonight. This first time via a hit, though. Junction City with one on, nobody out. So Dalton Nelson stepping in now. Nelson 1 for 1 with a single walk and a run as he takes his first one high for ball one. Nelson's squad, Junction City leading as this one is hit to AJ Alvarez at third base. The throw over to first, not in time, but good defensive effort from Alvarez that definitely probably saved an extra base, if not from Nelson, definitely from Schrack. And he actually still almost made the play there. I think Dalton Nelson beat that by maybe a step. So well done by both of them, both Nelson and Alvarez. It's one of those kind of win-win plays. Although you really want to get the out if you can. This first pitch in there for a strike to Jarek Braden. Braden 0 for 2. However, an RBI to his credit. And he swings on this one and will foul it off for strike two. Braden is a native of nearby Olathe. Was an Olathe South Falcon in high school, and you'll hear that quite a bit. There's a lot of Olathe players on both squads, especially Olathe South. However, as Braden swings and misses there, I was going to finish the thought. He is a different kind of bird now. He is a Cloud County Thunderbird. But he is sat down swinging to make it one out here. And in steps Isaac Peggers. Peggers looking for his first hit, over 2 with a strikeout. And if he can get one here, this one in there for strike one by Derek Carey. He would maybe bring home a run, if not load the bases. As this pitch high outside for ball one. We should have clear skies here for the rest of the night. Not supposed to get any kind of storms until Sunday here in Belton, so unless as both runners go, both runners safe, and I think that was ball two. I'm not quite sure either way, but I'm going to mark it. Well, actually, I'm going to hold off on marking it my scorebook, period. Yes, it is ball two officially. So 2-1 to Peggers, who sends this one into left field. Mitchell Smith cannot come even close to it as Schrack will score, Nelson scores, and a 2 RBI double for Isaac Peggers. His squad now leads 7-1 here in the, I forgot to switch it, and it's the top of the fourth. And that's going to warrant a mound visit from pitching coach Jeremy Husband. And with that, we will step aside for a short break. So that's going to be the end of the mound visit. Only that, Carey will remain on the mound. And with that, I feel like I should tell you all about the rest of the MLB games. So The Mets trail the Nationals 1-0. It's top of the 7th at Citi Field, and the Cardinals trail the Cubs 6-1. That game in St. Louis. This one hit just foul by George Andrews. So the count moves to 0-1 to him. But the Cubs are beating the Cardinals 6-1 in St. Louis at the end of 4, and well, that just makes me very happy. So 0-1 to Andrews. Andrews is 2 for 2 tonight. A 2 for 2 tonight with 2 RBIs and a run, as he ropes this one foul once again, and he's made quite a lot of contact tonight, really looking to maybe put one in that gap between Adam Morgan and the right field foul pole. However, he's going to have to try it for a third time. This one high, 4-1. Andrews is a graduate of Blue Valley West and a attendee of Coffeyville Community College. Blue Valley West, obviously located in Overland Park, just across state line here in Belton. The 0-2 is now 1-2, or remains 1-2. That one hit foul behind us, and I kind of struggle with trying to locate the foul balls and just making sure they don't hit me. Luckily, if I'd gotten hit, you would have heard about it. You probably would have heard it happen as well. But the sky is getting darker here in Belton as that one outside 4-2. The wind's kind of starting to pick up as well, but we shouldn't be getting any storms in, or at least I hope not. Be nice if we could get through this one. It is the top of the 4th here in Belton. Junction City leads the Midwest A's 7-1 as this pitch outside to George Andrews. The count goes full. To the tall lefty. The payoff pitch outside. 4-4. So George Andrews works a a 1-out walk. He's on for the 3rd time tonight, and we are going to get a mound visit from Will Rogers. And with that, that probably presumably signals the end of the day for Derek Carey, but we will have to see. I'm going to step aside for a short break, and after that, we will let you know who the new pitcher is. We're back with the top of, excuse me, we're in the top of the fourth inning. This is a new pitcher for the Midwest A's. It is Charlie Williams. If you heard his name earlier, that's because he was the Mid-Plains League Pitcher of the Year through an inning in last night's game. In that inning, as Zach Becker shows bunt, it will be hit back to Williams. He throw to first in time, so 2 away now, but the job is done. Both Peggers and Andrews advancing to their new homes, second and third base, and that'll be Keegan McDonald up now. McDonald 0 for 1 with a flyout and a walk. He takes the first pitch low for ball 2, so finishing with Charlie Williams. Williams threw an inning last night. In that inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 run. However, that run was not earned. It should be noted as this one is hit up into the air. Aiden Morgan, actually, it's going to go out of play. It should be noted, though, that the error that made the run unearned was an error by Williams himself. However, it had 1 walk, 2 hit by pitches, and 1 strikeout. All of that in just an inning of work. The 1-1 make that 1-2. Donald kind of wheeled around for a check swing, and he definitely went there, but the count is 1-2 now to McDonald. Did forget to mention McDonald was an all-league player, however, at relief pitcher, has only pitched 1 time in this playoff series, though. Not this one, actually the previous one, but in the playoffs at all, as he takes that next pitch low. The count now 2-2. So the count 2-2 swung on by McDonald, so it will remain at 2-2. McDonald is a native of Clay Center, attendee of Clay Center Community High School, the Tigers. Then went to Neosho Community College in Chanute, and will be a Washburn Ichabod this upcoming season, as he takes this pitch down for ball 3, and that's going to be a passed ball, and that will score Peggers and move Nelson up a space. So Junction City now leads 8-1 now, with the count full in the top of the fourth, 2 outs. The payoff pitch hit into center field, and that will be Harris making the catch. So McDonald will be retired. But that'll do it here in the top of the fourth inning. 3 runs off 3 hits, no errors, 1 left on. Junction City has extended their lead. They now lead 8-1 here after 3.5. We go to the bottom of the fourth after a short break. Do not go anywhere. Drew Oreskes leads off the bottom of the fourth inning, trying to get something started for his squad. They currently trail Junction City 8-1. Cade Perkins out for another inning of work. Perkins' first pitch inside, 4-1. Oreskes is 0 for 1 as he swings on and fouls this one off into the parking lot. Luckily, able to avoid any car. That's a pretty short landing spot as this one is hit into center field. It will be Jason Essig making the catch on a run. He retires Oreskes. So, one away here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Trent Ruckert, the new batter. Ruckert 1 for 1 with a double and the only run for the Midwest A's. He takes the first pitch in there for strike one. Quickly swung on and missed, so the count quickly 0-2. And as I said, not supposed to storm here tonight, however, quite cloudy as Ruckert swings and misses. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 2 outs now here in the bottom of the fourth inning. However, there is quite a bit of cloud cover, which makes it a little cooler, which I will never be upset about. That brings in A.J. Alvarez. Alvarez 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He sends this one into the outfield. Will that be McDonald to catch it? Yes, it is. So that's going to do it for us here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Junction City. No runs off, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We move to the top of the fifth. Brigade still leading 8-1. And with that, we're going to take a break. Do not go anywhere. Back here with the top of the fifth inning. This will be Braden Dinkle to lead the inning off. His team, Junction City, up 8-1. And Charlie Williams, the pitcher, who finished the last, actually, Williams did not start the last inning, however, finished it. It was Derek Carey, as this pitch by Williams is outside for ball one. Dinkle is 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single in his first at bat. However, it flew out to Mitchell Smith in right field in the next one. Pitch low for ball 2. This one hit into center field. Actually, no, it will be Smith coming over to get it, but he will not come around, so that actually ended up in shallow left field. It was Johnson on it. However, he was called off by Mitchell Smith behind him, who had to run up quite a ways to get there. Could not make the grab, so Braden Dinkle on with a leadoff single. That brings up the top of the order once again. This is Jace Essig. Essig 0 for 2 with a walk and a run. He fouls his first pitch off into the fence behind us, and the count moves to 0-1. So obviously there are no other games to report on in the league. This is the only game as Williams throws back to first. However, tag will not even be applied. So no other games to report on other than all the MLB games and maybe other various collegiate summer leagues around the country. However, I don't have those up in front of me, and this one is hit to second base. Veneman will not be able to get it, so that's going to be an E4. So unsure of where that would have gone, probably to second base, but either way, Johnson and Veneman kind of ran into each other. Veneman was not able to. He got a glove touching the ball, however, did not get a glove on it. But either way, 2 on with nobody out here for Carson Schrack, who takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Schrack is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk, 2 runs to his credit as well. This pitch foul tipped into the glove of Arndorfer. Count evens up at 1-1. So the sun's starting to go down here. It's about 8:30 in Belton as that pitch is high for ball 2. However, or I see ball 3 on the scoreboard. However, I'm pretty sure only 2 pitches have been thrown unless I missed one. Either way, this one fouled off by Schrack. So the count is either 3-2. It is 2-2 officially. That has been confirmed. Sometimes I get just a little confused by the scoreboard, but the count is 2-2. Not the, well, you all can't see that scoreboard anyway. And this one low and in the dirt. Not blocked. Blocked, but not blocked well enough by Arndorfer. So Essig and Dinkle will advance. The count is now full. This run's starting to go down here, and with the big cloud above us, as this one hit into left center field. There will be nobody locating it. However, the throw to Harris to second base, not in time. So a 2 RBI double by Carson Schrack. Junction City now leads 10-1 here in the top half of the 5th inning. So nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. Junction City scored 2 this inning already, as this pitch to Dalton Nelson is low for ball 1. Carson Schrack sits on second base. An RBI double in his last at bat. But continuing my thought from earlier, this big cloud above us pretty much makes it feel like the sun is set already. Even though it is in the process, as this one is hit into center field. Harris makes the grab and retires Nelson. And that means one away here in the top half of the fifth inning. And in steps Jarek Braden. Braden is 0 for 3 with an RBI. As this one by Williams is low, 4-1. Braden looking to reach base for the first time, however, drove in the run with the aforementioned RBI. This pitch swung on and missed by Braden, so the count moves to 1-1. There's really not many other games in sports tonight, as that one is low for ball two. The Women's World Cup continues on. The United States women's national team drew the Netherlands. Netherlands snapped the USWNT's not trailing streak. The WNT, as this one is outside for ball three. 3-1 the count now, but the WNT had a streak of 17 straight matches in which they never trailed. However, Netherlands scored the first goal, which means the United States trailed. However, found one in the second half to at least draw the game up. This one fouled off. Count moves to 3-2. In other Women's World Cup news, Nigeria beat Australia last night, so that makes that group look a little funny. Actually, that wasn't a couple nights ago. That wasn't last night. That was just this morning. This one is up and in the air. It will be AJ Alvarez trying to make the grab, and he will make it. That is in fair territory, but Jarek Braden retired via a P5, and in steps Isaac Peggers. Peggers is 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI double in his last at bat. This one swung on and missed for strike one. Peggers looking to maybe drive another run in. However, his club leads by 9. He fouls that one off, so the count quickly moving to 0-2. Just had a decent amount of people here in Belton. This is my first time out at an A's home game. As this one is hit into right field by Peggers, and it will drop. I thought it was on the left side of the right field line. However, it went foul, so the count remains 0-2 to Peggers. count is 0-2 here in the top of the fifth inning. 2 outs to Isaac Peggers, who sends this one to Evan Johnson at short. The throw to first in time, so that'll do it here in the top of the fifth inning. 2 runs off 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left on. Junction City has extended their lead. They now lead 10-1, and the Midwest A's will have a chance to respond in the bottom of that fifth. That'll come after our break here on the Sunflower Sports Network. Do not go anywhere. Back here with the bottom half of the fifth inning. This is Cade Perkins out for another inning of work. He has thrown 3 balls to Cole Arndorfer. Arndorfer takes the next pitch in there for call strike 1. Count now 3-1. Arndorfer 1 for 1 with an RBI, and he will take his base with a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the fifth. By the way, that is only walk number 2 for Cade Perkins, as this one is hit to Carson Schreck at second base. The throw to first lasered to Jarek Braden, but in time. I wouldn't want to be that close to him as that happened. However, that moves Arndorfer up to second. Harris is retired, and that cycles to the top of the order. It is Blake Veneman now up for his 3rd trip to the plate. Veneman fouls this one off into the fence. Count now 0-1. Veneman is 1 for 2 with a single. However, nothing more than that. Was stranded on second base in his last trip up, which was the 3rd inning. This one check swung, and an appeal down to first he went. So the count now at 0-2. So the count is 0-2 to Veneman. The 1 out here with 1 on. This off-speed pitch from Perkins can't find the zone, so the count will move to 1-2. This one finds the inside, not the inside part of the zone, the heart of the plate, and Veneman is sat down looking. So 2 outs here, and strikeout number 5 for Cade Perkins. There are now 2 outs here, as this one is hit straight to Isaac Peggers at third. Throw to first in time, so that'll be Evan Johnson done. No runs off one hit. No errors here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. That'll do it. We will move to the top of the 6th. After a short break, do not go anywhere. Dalton Nelson leads off the top of the 6th inning. His team currently up 10-1 here in Game 2 of this County Cup Championship Series. Junction City won Game 1, so if the result holds, this will be championship number 7 and the 3rd in a row for Junction City. The last time that the Brigade didn't win, as Andrews takes that first pitch for ball 1, was 2020. The A's won that year. Junction City lost to COVID-19. They did not participate in that season. This pitch to Andrews. In there for called strike 1, so that evens it up. Andrews 2 for 2 tonight with 2 RBIs and a walk as well. So he has reached base all 3 times he's been up. Can he make it 4? 1-1, swung on and missed. So if he wants to get on, it'll have to wait another pitch at least. This is that one, so the count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 pitch hit up the middle, past the glove of Williams, and Veneman can't find it either. However, would have been a tough play for Veneman to make, so I'm going to call that a single. So George Andrews is on with another single. That makes him 3 for 3, and that brings up Zach Becker. Becker is 1 for 3 with a double and a run. Reached on error in his second trip up as well. But as the first pitch of the at-bat, outside for ball 1. One and 0 here to Becker. Make that 2-0. This next pitch outside for ball 2. So the sun almost completely down here. It's a nice grayish hue as that one is fouled. Would have been foul tipped, but Orndorfer could not grab it. However, 2-1 now. To Zach Becker. The 2-1 pitch in there. 4 called strike 2 evens up the count at 2. It's been all Brigade in this one so far. They lead 10-1. They have scored in every inning except for the third and this one. As Becker sends this one with a half-check swing into left field. As Smith mishandles the throw. And as that happens, Andrews runs to third, Becker to second. So a kind of nice half-check swing, finds the gap, Doesn't matter how it gets done as long as it gets done is how I would say that. And I would call that probably an RBI double for Becker. And that brings up Keegan McDonald. McDonald looking for his first hit of the game, and this might be it. This one into left field and down, and Mitchell Smith overran it. So Nelson will score, or excuse me, not Nelson. Andrews will score. Becker will score, and that ball hit off AJ Alvarez at third base. So as that happened, McDonald scored. So that is a 3-run. I can't call it an inside the park home run. Sorry, Keegan. It's going to be a triple and then a scored on throw, because I wouldn't necessarily call it an error by Alvarez. However, that clears the bases. So I'll not call it an inside the park home run. However, McDonald did score on that one, and this is Braden Dinkle, who seen two pitches, both of them balls now. And this one roped to left field. This one, Mitchell Smith will find it, so Braden Dinkle on with a no-out single, and that brings up the top half of the order, or top of the order again. This is Jace Essig. Essig 0 for 3 tonight, however, has 2 runs. Walked once and reached on error. And he's still looking for his first hit of the night. He takes the first pitch in there for called strike one. So 0-1, make that 1-1. This one low for ball one. So it's actually cooled down quite a bit here. And in just a minute, I will read you off the weather here in Belton so you guys can get an idea of what it is, as that last pitch was in there for a called strike two, or maybe you can get a little jealous. It's 85 here in Belton, so decently cool, and as I said, a nice contrast from last night. This pitch low for ball two, and as that happened, Dinkle in there with a stand-up stolen base. It was not a pass ball or a wild pitch. Arndorfer did well to block that, but Dinkle noticed that it was not in the glove of Arndorfer and that he might as well try to get a run on it. So he's at second base here. 2-2 with nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. After about an hour and 50 minutes of play here in the top of the 6th, Junction City leads 13-1. This pitch outside, so the count has gone full to Jace Essig. Essig, formerly an Emporia State Hornet, recently announced his commitment to transfer to McPherson College as he sends this one up into the air. Who wants it? It's going to be nobody. It will not get down. Aiden Morgan can't get on that one, so credit Essig with a double as really call that an error. Nobody touched it. Well, I suppose you can, but I like to give it a hit if nobody touched the ball just because you never know. However, could call it an error, but I'm going to call it a hit. It is 3-1. So runners on second and third here. Nobody out. Junction City has scored 3 in this inning already off a Keegan McDonald triple, then advanced on throw. Couldn't necessarily call it an inside the park home run as Carson Schrack takes this first pitch for strike one. However, we can call it an honorary home run, and if Keegan wants to get with me and maybe hand me $5 to $10, I'll change my mind. However, I'm not the official scorekeeper anyway, so it really doesn't matter, and I wouldn't take a bribe either way. Schrack hits this one outside for strike two. Actually, I wouldn't say I wouldn't take a bribe. I just wouldn't initiate one. So the count is 0-2 to Carson Schrack. Schrack 2 for 3 tonight. Has 2 runs to his credit, as well as 2 RBIs, a double, and a walk. So he has reached base in 3 of his 4 plate appearances. He does face 0-2 here, though. So 0-2 here with nobody out. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled off to our left once again. Schrack is a native of Edgerton, Kansas. Graduated from Gardner Edgerton High School. Edgerton, if you don't know where that is on the west, like the very west of Johnson County. And this one's going to get up the middle. Veneman will make the play. 31st in time, however, that will score Braden Dinkle. So another run scored, and in that happening, Essig advanced to third base. So 14-1 the score now. 1 out here with a runner on third. That is Jace Essig. Dalton Nelson, the next batter up, and he ropes one into left field. As this happens, Essig will score. So an RBI single from Dalton Nelson. Junction City now leads 15-1. This brings up Jarek Braden. Braden 0 for 4, trying to get his first time on base. He takes the first pitch, 4-1. This pitch catches the outside part of the zone. Count moves to 1-1. So 1 out here with 1 on. In the top of the 6th inning, Junction City has already scored 5. They lead 15-1 here as this pitch is low for ball 2. Count moves to 2-1, and still a lot of people here. I don't anticipate them leaving. This is well, as it stands, the last game of the season. Unless the A's stage a dramatic comeback, I will say well, at this point, 15-1, I have not seen crazier as this one goes high for ball 3. 3-1 the count now. The 3-1 hit to Veneman at second base. And I guess that was a line out and then throw back. However, they're confirming that. So that'll do it here in the top half of the 6th inning. Junction City scores 5. They now lead 15-1. And with that, we're going to take a break and be back in just a minute. Do not go anywhere. We're back here with the top half of the 6th inning. Excuse me, the bottom half. It's been kind of a long night. It is 8:58, so after almost 2 hours of play, we are just through just 5.5, and we do have a new pitcher for Junction City. This is Grant Zewald. That ends the night for Cade Perkins. And this is Aiden Morgan leading off the bottom of the 6th. Junction City has kind of started to run away with this one. It's 15-1 here in the bottom of the 6th, as I said. Aiden Morgan fouls this first one off for not called strike one, but 0-1 is the count, and Grant Zewald is the new pitcher. Zewald, a native of North Richland Hills, as this one is hit up into the air. It will be Keegan McDonald making the play. Away here in the bottom of the 6th. So Zewald is a native of North Richland Hills, however plays his college ball at the University of Central Oklahoma. Zewald was an all-league pitcher as a starter, as Mitchell Smith swings and misses. However, and this is Zewald's third appearance. As I said, he was an all-league pitcher as a starter. However, this is his second appearance in relief of the playoffs. He started game 1 against Baldwin City, went 6 innings and got the win. Then he came in at relief for game 3. This one, check swung on, the appeal down to first. He did go, so the count now 1-2. So 1-2 the count, now outside. Count even up at 2-2 now. 2-2 pitch, low. Count moves to 3-1, or excuse me, count moves full. Payoff pitch hit into center field. However, Essig will make a nice underhand catch on the run. So 2 away now here in the bottom of the 6th. That brings up Drew Reskis. Reskis 0 for 2 tonight. Looking for his first hit. The first pitch fouled off. 0-1. So now for you folks at home, pull out your history textbooks. It's history time. It's one of my favorite segments on this day. Today is July 27th as this pitch goes low for ball 1. And I like to say whatever happened on this day in history. So starting with 1586 on this day, July 27th, Reskis swings and misses. On this day in 1586, Walter Raleigh brought tobacco to England for the first time from Virginia. The 1-2. In there for called strike 3. Zewald gets his first strikeout of the evening. And Reskis had some words for the umpire there. But that'll do it here in the bottom of the 6th. A 1-2-3 inning for the A's. We move to the top of the 7th at Junction City, leading 15-1. With that, we're going to take a break. Do not go anywhere. Isaac Peggers leads off the top of the 7th for Junction City. Junction City, it's been all them tonight as Peggers foul tips this one off for 0-1. It's been all Junction City tonight. They lead at 15-1 here in the top of the 7th inning. So that means they've scored 15 runs in their first 6 attempts as this one goes outside for ball 1. So they're averaging a little less than 3 runs an inning, and they've scored in 4 out of the 6 so far. The 1-1 pitch swung on a miss. The count goes to 1-2. On this day in history, on this day in 1789, the United States Congress established the Department of Foreign Affairs, better known today as the State Department. The 1-2 hit into center field. However, Harris does not even have to move. He finds Peggers, who is retired. One away here in the top of the 7th inning. Brings up George Andrews, who is 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. On this day in 1794, Maximilien Robespierre was overthrown in a coup. Robespierre, one of the major players of the French Revolution. And to sum it up, after they got the monarchy out of there, Robespierre took it a little too far. And just 36 years later, on this day as well, this one low for ball 1 in history. On this day in 1830, the July Revolution broke out, which was the second major French Revolution. That was in response to King Charles X's new laws, which the citizens did not like. 1-1 here on the field. This one hit to Veneman. The throw to first in time. So George Andrews retired for the first time tonight. And in steps Zach Becker. Becker is 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, 2 runs, and a reach on error. Gonna look to maybe extend his club's lead right now, although I would say they might not need it. This pitch from Charlie Williams inside and low for ball 1. So continuing our on this day in 1909, the first military airplane known as the Wright Flyer was tested by Orville Wright. It became obviously the first military plane, as that one fouled off for strike 1. The first military plane in existence. Our final on this day in general history. On this day in 1953, North and South Korea signed an armistice on the 38th parallel, thus de facto ending the Korean War. However, they never actually formally signed, an end to the wars. This one called Strike 1, so technically the Korean War still happening. However, the war on the diamond here, 1-2 with 2 outs to Zach Becker. This pitch outside evens up the count at 2. So 2-2 with 2 outs. This one low and through the legs of Arndorfer, although it will not matter. Count now full. So moving to our next on this day, on this day in sports. On July 27th, 1927, Mel Ott hit his first home run ever at 18. That was an inside the Parker. But the payoff pitch swung on and fouled, so we will go again. On this day in 1947, Yogi Berra started a record 148-game errorless streak. That's pretty good, especially for a catcher. Payoff pitch now hit to Veneman at second base. The throw to first will be in time, so that'll do it here in the top of the 7th inning. A 1-2-3 inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. We move to the bottom of the 7th. Junction City still leads 15-1. With that, we're going to take a break. Do not go anywhere. Back here with the bottom of the 7th inning. Trent Ruckert will lead things off for the Midwest A's. The home team currently trailing 15-1. Junction City well in hand of this one. However, nothing ever done. Midwest A's have 9 outs to work with as Ruckert swings and misses there. Starts off the inning at 0-1. This is Grant Zewald out for another inning. This one in there for called strike 2. So continuing our On This Days in Sports, on this day in 1983, Gaylord Perry reached 3,500 strikeouts. And speaking of strikeouts, there's number 2 to Grant Zewald. One away here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. But not only did Perry reach 3,500 Ks in that game, he won his first game as a Kansas City Royal. The first pitch to A.J. Alvarez, low for ball 1. Alvarez is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Would like to get on for the first time. He swings and misses there, so the count even up at 1-1. On this day in 1988, Tommy John, yes, that Tommy John, committed 3 errors in one play, which is a record. That pitch in there for called strike 2, count 1-2 now. However, not to fret, the Yankees would rout the Brewers 16-3 in that one. This pitch high for ball 2. 2-2 the count now. So on this day in 1999, maybe the coolest one on this list, Tony Hawk became the first player, as that pitch swung on and missed. Strikeout number 3 for Zewald, and that's actually 3 in a row. Strikeout Oreskes to finish the bottom of the 6th, has now struck out the first 2. And this is Cole Arndorfer. But on this day in 1999, Tony Hawk became the first human ever to land a 900, which is 2.5 full rotations on a skateboard, which is, well, pretty hard to do, or at least it was at that time. 0-1 to Arndorfer makes that 1-1. That one in there for called strike 1, evens up the count at 1. So on this day in 2012, this is our last on this day in sports, the London Olympics opened as that pitch once again in there for called strike 2. That one in there for 1 into the count now. Swing and a miss. So Grant Zewald strikes out the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We move to the top of the 8th. Junction City still leads 15-1. With that, we will take a break and be back in just a couple short minutes. Do not go anywhere. This is Keegan McDonald leading off the top of the 8th inning. He takes the first pitch in there for called strike 1, and it is a new pitcher for the Midwest A's. That is Nate Bowen out to finish the last couple innings. Bowen's first 2 pitches, both strikes. So McDonald faces 0-2. This one hit into left field. If this is fair, it is gone. And it is. So Keegan couldn't get the inside the park home run. I wouldn't give him that. However, out of the park it is. So he definitely heard me. And Keegan McDonald extends the Junction City lead. It is now 16-1. So that brings up Braden Dinkle now, the bottom of the lineup, as this pitch by Bowen high for ball 1. Continue with our on this days. Now to our birthdays. I have 4 birthdays to talk about. Funnily enough, they're all athletes. So this one roped to left field, but foul. That probably would have stayed in the park. So the count moves to 1-1. So happy birthday to Triple H. Born on this day in 1969, Triple H, obviously a WWE wrestler from the D-Generation X stable. One of my favorites back when I watched wrestling. This one hit to Veneman, the throw to first in time. So 1 away here in the top of the 8th inning. And fun note to make, the last three retired batters from Junction City have all been by way of a 4-3 ground out. So that brings up Jace Essig, the top of the lineup now, as he sends this one to the outfield. Is this Harris under it? Yes, it is. So Essig retired after just one pitch. There are now 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. Continuing our on this days, happy birthday to Alex Rodriguez, born on this day in 1975. Boy, am I getting old if he's reaching 50. He was 48 today, for reference. That pitch, 2 curves from track, low for ball 1. And for reference, I'm 22, but it's not going to stop me from feeling old, at least. So pitch inside for ball 2. Happy birthday to Ryan Tannehill, his 35th birthday. He was born on this day in 1988. Another pitch, low for ball 3. Tannehill, the A quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. I don't think they have their official starter up for the season yet. And this one hit to second base again. The throw to first in time. So I said 3 in a row. Make that 4. Well, actually not 4 threes in a row, but 4 out of the last 5. That'll end the inning. End the top half of this inning. 1 run off a Keegan McDonald home run. That is their only hit. No errors, no one left on. We move to the bottom of the 8th. Junction City now leads 16-1. And with that, we will take a break. Do not go anywhere. Back here with the bottom of the 8th inning. Grant Zewald out for another inning of work. This one hit foul by AJ. Actually, this is not AJ Alvarez. I don't know what I'm thinking. This is Jack Harris, who faces 0-1. Make that 0-2. He check swings and fouls both of those. And Grant Zewald looking for a 5th strikeout. So finishing off my last happy birthday. Happy birthday to Jordan Spieth, 30 years old today. This one outside for ball 1. Now, I usually do on this day of music, and I'm going to do it anyway. I really only have one thing, and that was only in the musical realm. This one in there for called strike 3. That makes 5 strikeouts for Grant Zewald. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. That brings up Blake Vitamin in the top of the lineup. Vitamin 1 for 3 with a single and a strikeout. This one outside for ball 1. Vitamin really had a lot of activity in the field. He's in the last 2 innings, he's seen 4 balls hit his way. He's retired all of them, but this one fouled off. Count now 1-1. So are on this day in music, which is only in the musical realm. On this day in 1976, John Lennon got his green card to live in the United States. This one in there for called strike 2. Running to the count now. And next and last is National Holidays. I really only found 2 of note. It is National Scotch Day, so if you like Scotch, I guess you pour yourself a glass if you don't have one already. This one hit past the glove of Braden Dinkle. Blake Veneman on with a 1-out single. And our last national holiday, it is National Intern Day, so I feel like I should take this time to thank all the interns in the Mid-Plains League, which make this league possible. We couldn't do it without you, and that one swung on and missed by Evan Johnson. And next year I'm lobbying for there to be an intern softball game at the All-Star game. So this one hit to Dinkle at short. The throw to first in time. So 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Veneman advanced to first as that advanced to second as that happened, and that brings up Aiden Morgan. Morgan 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Sees the first pitch in there for called strike 1. This pitch low and outside for ball 1, and this might be a decent time to do an MLB update. After this pitch, the 1-1 outside for ball 2, 2-1 the count now. The White Sox trail the Guardians. That is 6-3 in the middle of the 8th at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. This one swung on a miss, so the count even up at 2. Deuces Wild with 2 outs. The Mets and the Nationals are in a delay. That one tied at 1. As this one outsides the count full. That game tied at 1 in the bottom of the 8th, I believe. And actually, it is. The Mets win that game. Comes back as swinging a miss. Swinging a foul tip miss. Make that strikeout number 6 for Grant Zewald. And that'll do it for us here in the 8th inning. We move to the top of the 9th. Junction City looking to add to their lead one more time. They lead 16-1, and with that, we are going to take a break and be back in just a few short minutes. Do not go anywhere. Dalton Nelson leads off the top half of the 9th inning. The Junction City Brigade currently lead 16-1. They've pretty much been in control of this game for almost the entire thing as Nelson takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. This ball roped fair. I thought our field umpire said that was a fair ball. However, nobody reacted to it, so we're just gonna pretend like it's foul. Actually, it definitely was fair. It definitely was foul. I'm just confusing directions in my head, but this one low and outside for ball two, so they got 2-1 to Dalton Nelson. This one fouled off behind, so the count evens up at 2. The final game of note, the Cardinals trail the Cubs 9-3. Cubs have runners at the corners with one out in the top of the 9th, and all I can say to that is go Cubs go. A pitch low, so the count moves to 3-2, a full count. The payoff pitch here, low for ball 4. Dalton Nelson works a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Excuse me, the top of the 9th inning. If it was the bottom of the 9th and Junction City was up, we wouldn't be playing it, but it's the top of the 9th. I just sometimes confuse words with other words. Bowen's next pitch, low for ball 1. This is Jarek Braden, by the way. The lefty threw everything as he takes this next pitch for strike 1. Braden has failed to register a hit, however, does have an RBI to his credit. And in his last attempt, as he takes there, the count now 1-2. No outs here, 1 on for Junction City. They currently lead 16-1, so anything past what we have now is pretty much academic. Is this ball low and in front of, this is not Arndorfer, this is a new catcher. I'll tell you who that is in just one moment. But as that happened, Dalton Nelson able to take second base. The new catcher, maybe it is Clayton Escrow wearing 44. I have Escrow, I've had him wearing 34, I've had him wear 44, otherwise I don't have any other 44. This one fouled off by Braden. The count will remain at 2-2. Escrow, by the way. So I think this is Escrow. Otherwise, well, I'm flying blind. But 2-2 the count with a runner on second here. The 2-2 high for 3-2. So the count is full for the second time in this inning. The payoff pitch hit up in the air. It will fall down in shallow center field. It will be Nelson advancing to third. Braden to first. So a no-out single for Jarek Braden. And we remain at no outs, runners at the corners now for Junction City. First pitch to Isaac Peggers. Low and inside for ball 1. Peggers 1 for 5 with a strikeout and a 2 RBI double. Looking to add to that as he sends this one foul just in front of third base. Count evens up at 1-1. Well, sorry about that. I don't know why my Screen froze, but hopefully it should be back in just one moment. Otherwise, I have no clue, as either way I'm going to do the radio. This one hit to Evan Johnson at short. The throw to first, also in time. I'm going to try and fix the frozen screen, however. A double play there, 6-4-3. So I can't credit Isaac Peggers with the RBI. However, he does drive a run in that play. And that brings up George Andrews, and we'll try to get you that. Well, it'll be just one moment, and we're trying to figure out our video issues. Did that help it? No, I don't think it did. We have a black screen now and just trying to figure out everything. Having issues with our streaming application. Hopefully it's going through here. Either way, we should be back now. Hopefully that was fine. This one hit by, this is a new batter. Forgot to introduce him. That was Nicholas Trahey from KCK, a native of Kansas City, Kansas, and a graduate of St. James Academy. Either way, he made it to first base, and if you'll just bear with me as I try to figure this out. This one low for ball one, and as that happens, Trahey will advance to second base. And there we go. We should be back in business now. Once again, I apologize for the mix-up, and honestly, I forgot one of the chief kind of things of broadcast, or chief things of IT, just to unplug it and then plug it back in. But I didn't ponder that when I did not ponder that though when I thought of things. This one hit to Evan Johnson at short. The throw over to first is in time, so that'll do it here in the top of the ninth inning. And Junction City adds to their lead. It is now 17-1. The Midwest A's have one more opportunity to try and get some runs on the board. However, just to tie it up, they will need 16. 17 would obviously walk it off, but we'll see if that happens. I don't think it will, as we haven't seen any team, I think, plate more than 10 in an inning this season in the Mid-Plains League. But that'll do it here as I just finalize my score book for the Junction City side. I had to put in that last play. I'm just going to keep it here. We're not even going to go to a break. It will be Grant Zewald out for another inning. Zewald out for another inning. He's had a pretty impressive day so far. So far, he's let just one base runner on. That was Blake Veneman by way of a single. However, Zewald has struck out 6, including striking out the side in the 7th inning. it will be Drew Oreskes. Excuse me, this is not Drew Oreskes. This is Mitchell Smith to lead off the bottom of the ninth inning. Obviously, as I said before, the Midwest A's need, well, a big inning here. And I'm not even going to say a big inning. They need a super mega colossal and then some inning as Mitchell Smith takes the first pitch low for ball one. Smith ropes this one into left field. He is on board with a leadoff single, and that is his first hit of the night. The A's might have some life. A leadoff runner here in the bottom of the ninth. Drew Oreskes, next one stepping in 0-for-3 with a strikeout, but if you want a guy that can swing the bat, it is Oreskes who, as he sends this one up high and out of play, Oreskes had a 3-run home run to tie up Game 2 of Midwest A's versus Topeka. The A's would score one more run in the bottom of the 8th and end up winning that game, forcing a Game 3, and of course they won Game 3. Oreskes swings and misses there, so the count is 0-2. The 0-2 pitch hit in the gap. Actually, no, it was not. It will be hit by the first baseman, or picked up by the first baseman, Braden. He threw it to second. The throwback to, so Smith will be retired there. However, Oreskes advancing via a fielder's choice. It's not an error. There's never an error on double plays because you can never assume a double play. Although the throw is quite high, so if that was a single, it would have been an error. But this next pitch by Zewald to Trent Rucker in there for called strike one. The 0-1 hit up into the air. This will be Carson Schrack under it, and he will make the grab. 2 away here in the bottom of the ninth inning, and the Junction City Brigade are just 1 out away from their 3rd consecutive Mid-Plains League title and 7th overall. But we'll watch this play out. This is AJ Alvarez, batter up, who takes the first pitch by Grant Zewald high for ball one. And I can probably determine my pitchers of record right now, so should obviously this game hold where it's at, Cade Perkins will be the winning pitcher as this one goes out in the zone for strike one, evens up the count. So Perkins will be the winning pitcher. The losing pitcher will be Robinson. But we will get there first as this pitch in there for called strike two. So the count is 1-2, and the Junction City fans here doing the progressively faster claps. This one just inside, evens up the count at 2. Was a good pitch, but count 2-2 now. So Deuce is wild here. This one hit into shallow center field. Will Jace Essig get to it? Yes, he will. And that'll do it here in Belton. Junction City Brigade, your 2023 Mid-Plains League champions. For the 3rd season in a row, they sweep the series 2-0. They won game 1 by a score of 16-7. They win this one 17-1. So once again, our pitchers of record, Cade Perkins with the win, Tate Robertson with the loss. That's going to do it. I'm probably going to keep it on for just a little bit longer while we have the presentation of the Cowden Cup. Our Commissioner Michael Moore out there to present the trophy. And with that, as he's doing that and the Brigade celebrate, I think they've kind of known this was going to happen really since maybe the second or third inning. I'd say maybe the fourth, because I think they went second and third not scoring. They had 5. Either way, that will be the end of the game. They're happy as always, and I mean, how couldn't you be after winning a title? But that's going to do it for me this season. I want to thank you all for tuning in, and for all of you guys that have stuck with me tonight. I mean, if you heard my spiel, I've had to do this. I think this is my 3rd time doing it now. Mostly do it just in case, but this is definitely the last game. So thank you all for a really, really fun 2023 season. This is my first year doing play-by-play and stuff like that, and I hope I could do a satisfactory job for you all. But I've enjoyed it quite a bit, and I will be back next season. And I can promise you the Mid-Plains League will be back better than ever. And just trust me, we'll have some cool things coming. So, my name, once again, is Joe Compton with the Sunflower Sports Network. And this is me saying goodbye, good night, God bless, stay safe. See you next year.